Hello everybody, Lisa here. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time stopping by. Today we are going to be doing a show and tell. Now typically I do these videos monthly and they are sort of a video where I literally I show and I tell. It's kind of like a favorites video, but I talk about all the things I've been enjoying, memories, YouTube videos. I talk about makeup and tarot things and books and just basically whatever I want to talk about. So it's a giant show and tell. It's one of my favorite things ever, but life has been crazy the last couple of months, so I haven't done one in a bit. So I'll just warn you right now. I say it every time. We're going to be here for a while. So grab a snack, a drink, put on some cozy PJs if you're watching this in the evening. If you're watching this or listening to this while you're doing something productive, more the better. Get your laundry folded, do those dishes, whatever you need to do. Let's get into it. I like to kick these videos off by talking about some of my favorite memories, and there have been some big ones. I'm going to start off with the tarot deck in the room, shall we say. I announced my pre-launch page. Well, how do I say this? I announced my Kickstarter. I'm really excited. Y'all, this is what happened with the Kickstarter, okay? I found myself in a place where I was just afraid to take the next step. So, full disclosure, I hit this point where I was like, if I don't do the next thing, I'm going to chicken out because I'm actually a scaredy cat. And the idea of putting this deck out into the world is terrifying and exciting and magical and amazing, but it's also terrifying. Terrifying's in the list. You know what I'm saying? And Peggy and I have had a lot of conversations actually about like fear of success, and there's also conversations around once you put something out into the world, like it's no longer just yours. And that wasn't it, I don't think, as much, but there certainly is the element of I know how much this deck means to me, and I know it can never possibly mean this much to anybody else. That sounds weird, but just it's so personal, right? It's personal because it's been in progress for all of 2023, about a year and a half, actually, because we started in the fall of 2022. And so I'm beating around the bush. There'll be a link down below, but my Kickstarter is due to kick off on April 20th. I will be having a live stream launch party here on the channel on that day. I wanted to pick a date that had some significance in the world, in the universe, astrologically. This is special. This is a momentous time. And I found out there was going to be a Jupiter-Uranus conjunction on April 20th, and that conjunction hasn't happened for 14 years. I did a little bit of research into that conjunction, asked an astrologer friend of mine to help confirm, and I was like, yes, this is the date. This is the date. It just felt right. Everything fell into place. I was like, this is the day. And then I got to work on the Kickstarter launch page, got it approved, and then I was like, well, it's approved. Do I wait? Do I tell you? So I sent out a newsletter. I announced it. It's terrifying. It's scary. It's exciting. And there's been an overwhelming amount of support so far. So thank you so, so, so much. I know I'm going to babble about this a lot over the coming months. And if you find that obnoxious, I apologize in advance because I can't help it. I'm very excited, and this is my whole world right now. So this is just how it is. But I'm excited. I don't know what's going to happen. I've set the most conservative goal that I can. So I've gotten the goal down as low as I can and still be able to swing printing the decks. So I'm hopeful we're going to meet the goal. If you don't know a lot about Kickstarter, I have an entire video on how the Kickstarter process works, and I will link that down below and up in the cards for you so you can check it out. If you've never backed on Kickstarter before, there's a whole lot to it. So I go over it in depth there. But I will say this because I'm not sure I mentioned it in that video. When you're a creator launching a project on Kickstarter, the first 24 to 48 hours are crucial. The faster your deck hits that main funding goal, the more that Kickstarter will help support and promote your project. That's just an algorithm thing. I know that that's important. So anybody who is interested in this deck, possibly interested in this deck, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, I could tell you what it is. It's the Unicorn's Journey Tarot. I have videos talking about this deck. I'll pull out my copy and I'll even show you some cards. I'm so excited. This is a sample print. It's not the official, but this is the Unicorn's Journey Tarot. It's amazing. We're going to be showing it again later in the video, but like, I can't help myself. Anyway, the first 24 to 48 hours, critical. So if you think you might want to back and it's doable for you, please click the link down below, sign up to get notified on Kickstarter as soon as the campaign goes live, because those, like I said, those first couple days are really going to be critical for the campaign's success. Also, I will have some early bird things going up. So that's a big thing. It's a big thing. So like I'm sorry that I'm talking about it so much. I can't, but I'm not sorry because I'm not going to stop. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. I have a lot of nervous energy about it. Does it show? I'm very excited. I'm very nervous. I'm very excited. I'm scared. That's where I'm at. But I wanted to say, most importantly, none of that would be happening. None of this, any of this would be happening without all of you. So magical, amazing. Another huge thing that happened in the last couple of months is that the official cover came out for my book that is going to be published by Llewellyn. It is called Unlocking the Tarot, Create Your Own Keys. I'll pop a picture of the cover up on the screen. Also have a link down below because I found out from you all, I had no idea, that the book is available for pre-order in several places. I know it's up on Amazon.com, Amazon.ca. I think it's up in the UK now, some parts of Europe. I feel like, and then there's some booksellers that are also opening up pre-orders. I saw it on Barnes & Noble. I don't know where else. Just keep your eyes peeled. The book is due to come out October 8th, and I will definitely be keeping you posted about all of that. But that news also came through in the last couple months. It's been big for projects, let me tell you. And of course, because I have no chill, Francesca and I are working on more things. There's other things in the works that there's a lot of there's a lot happening. I'm talking a lot with my hands. You can tell I'm excited and nervous because I'm talking a lot with my hands. So there's just been it's a lot, and I'm really excited and I'm really hopeful, and I feel like I'm like walking around very ungrounded. So I'm gonna work on that. But this is where I'm at. And if I can't gush and like be ridiculous and hyper in show and tell, then like where can I do it at? So you're stuck with me in all of my hyperness. I will settle down throughout this video. I'm quite sure. Maybe, probably. Those are the big memories. And honestly, because they're so big, I'm having a hard time like honing in on any other things that I want to highlight here. I'll just say that it's been a big couple of months. And there were things that weren't always so awesome. There was some hiccups in the last couple of months too, and some stress and some burnout and some other things that I was dealing with, but it's all coming together. I've got a lot of momentum again. I'm feeling really in my groove again. So all of that has been good. And I'm so glad I finally get to sit and make another one of these videos. Let's talk about some YouTubey things. I have to start out the YouTube section talking about the new collaboration between me and my bestie, Danny of Danny Mystic. We are doing a new collaboration of live streams. We're bouncing back and forth between her channel and mine, and the collaboration is called Glitter and Gators. It was for a short time called something else, and I'll be honest, when you see this graphic, you'll understand why we changed it. Had to. So very excited about that. Stay tuned. We had an amazing first chat. Holy cow. Was it the most fun I've had on a stream? In a very, I mean, that's hard to say because I've had so many fun streams lately, but I'll just say, like, it was incredible. It was incredible. It was one of the most happy moments I've had. Oh, I'm going to cry talking about. Okay, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that because I actually put makeup on for the first time all year. Okay. It was truly a highlight of my entire year. One of the happiest moments of my entire year. We had such an amazing time. The community came out, was very like engaged and supportive, and we just had a fabulous chat. We laughed. It felt so good. So thank you to those of you who showed up and showed support. We had a great time. We're having another one on Danny's channel that will be happening a little bit later this month. Stay tuned for the date. We will have a very special guest, and we'll be doing that. And I can't wait to see how that collaboration grows and changes over time. Now, another collaborative thing I've been doing, which is not even remotely tarot related, but has literally been my lifeline and keeping me absolutely sane. Well, mostly sane. It's been keeping me mostly sane and literally being the balance that I need in my life so much right now is my stream with my bestie, Dawn Michelle. She and I have been streaming on her second channel, Dawn Michelle 2. We've been streaming our playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3, but it's not, like, before you get excited, if you're into this game, before you get excited, please know that we are not playing this game like actual gamers. We are playing this game entirely focused on the storyline of the Pale Elf Astarion, who, he's one of the characters in the game, and that's all I'm going to say. But if you want to see some of the absolute chaos, shenanigans, and just total shit show that we have going on over on Dawn's second channel, go check it out. I'll link it down below. The highlights that Dawn puts together, which, by the way, she puts an obscene amount of time into, and they come out so cool, are the little clips and things that come about after our streams. So if you can't make the streams, because they can be long, check out some of those shorter videos that Dawn puts together because they are wild and hilarious and totally capture the vibe of what we're doing over there. But it is like Dawn and I being totally unhinged together. It's fun. It's fun. And it keeps me from only focusing on like all of the projects and all of the things I'm doing all of the time. So it's literally my life preserver right now, and I need it so much. And it has been so good for me on so many levels, and just spending that quality time with Dawn has been amazing. And I'm feeling very supported and very loved and very held by the people in my life right now. And between the collab with Danny and the collab stream with Dawn, it's just been like heartful big moments for me in the last couple months, and they have been holding me together, these things. So if you get a chance to check them out, please do. There are a few other things I've been really enjoying on YouTube, and I have to shout out Tara and Kelsey. So Tara of Cozy Core Craft and Kelsey of, I'm going to say this wrong, Hug? Is it Hug? Now I kind of want to look it up. I'll look it up later. Somebody tell me how to pronounce it if you know. But Haig Tarot, the two of them have started a new live stream collaboration with the two of them, all called, I have to look at it, Capsule Cards and Coziness. It's a delightful and actually very cozy little live stream collab, and I've been really, really, really enjoying watching it. I don't often get to catch the live stream, but I do watch the playbacks. So if you have not checked it out, please check it out. And the two of them also got together, and this was truly, if I was going to tell you like the best thing I just straight up watched on TarotTube in the last couple of months, like this is it. The two of them got together and did these deck roasts. Oh my God. The two of them roasted people whose favorite deck is fill in the blank. It's in 2 parts, or is it 3 parts? 2 or 3 parts. I will link part 1 down below. Please watch all of the parts. It is the most entertaining but loving series. I laughed until I had tears streaming down my face. I'm not even exaggerating a little bit. It was incredibly fun. What made it extra awesome is that there was so much like gentle care as well as roasting. So it was that really, really warm, good-natured roasting. None of it felt pokey in a way that was like, it wasn't making fun of anybody. And the people that submitted their decks, their favorite decks so that they could be roasted, were fully in on the process. So it was all voluntary, but it was hilarious. I didn't submit anything, but was totally called out by one of them, and it was the best thing. It was the best thing. I have been recommending it to everybody who has ears, just if you have not, and eyes, but it's definitely the kind of thing you could totally just listen to if you're like driving and doing it podcast style. Listen, it was so entertaining. Please check it out. And speaking of Tara, who apparently I'm just going to, that's who I'm focusing on this month. It's like a Tara feature. Hi, Tara, if you're watching. This is all about you now. I also really enjoyed, Tara kicked off a new series, like live study together things. I forget what they're called. I didn't write it down. But I'm joining her for one later this month, pretty soon, actually, when you're seeing this video. But it's like going on stream and then setting a timer and studying, doing a deck study or a tarot book study, or studying something tarot or divination related, and then chatting about it, going on these, like, I'm bad at describing these. They're like the study along. It's like a study along. It's like that. It's got a name. I'll link it down below. And finally, somebody somewhere out there in the YouTubeverse commented on one of my videos or in one of my live streams about salon life on YouTube. I was complaining about my cuticles, or what I thought were my cuticles, and somebody said, you've got to watch this person's salon life. She's like called the cuticle expert. She's called the cuticle something in tarot tube, nail tube circles. I don't know. Anyway, I started watching her, and when I tell you, you'll see. When I tell you, my nails and my cuticles and the skin around my nails has never been better. Like, my nails have never looked better. I did break one recently, but they're stronger. They've never looked better because I've been watching her videos. If you're into nails or painting your nails or taking care of your own nails at all, I recommend her videos so much. Plus, they're very relaxing to watch. I have watched probably a good couple dozen of her videos or had them playing while I was working, and I've come away with so many cool little tidbits, some of which I'll share with you because they're in my show and tell. But I really recommend her channel if you're into nail stuff the way that I am, or just in general. Really good, really, really, really good tips. I think I'm going to flip the camera around in a second, but I do have a TV and movie section for my show and tell. I haven't been watching any TV. I haven't been watching any movies. I do watch Saturday morning cartoons. I have a Saturday morning cartoon date with a friend of mine, and we're currently watching Not Quite Narwhal. It's been super cute. Very wholesome, lovely way to spend a Saturday morning. But outside of that, and Love is Blind. I lied. I have totally been watching Love is Blind, the newest season. At the time I'm recording this, I'm up to episode 11, which is all the episodes that are out. And we're going to have weddings soon, I think. But it's a reality TV show. I love co-watching this with my friend Marlena, Marlena Teresa here on YouTube. And we co-watch it and kind of gossip back and forth about it, talk about the couples. And then we usually will watch the wedding episodes together and pull cards on the couples. And it's super fun. I can't wait to do that with her. I have been enjoying the episodes and talking about the different couples with her so far this season. But other than that, now that I'm not lying, other than that, that is all the TV, movies, etc. I've been watching. My free time has been spent entirely on Baldur's Gate 3. I'm obsessed with that game. I've been obsessed since Christmas Day, actually, when our son helped us install the game, and I have been obsessed ever since. So when I have free time and I'm not working, or just quite simply when I make the time so that I don't go insane, I'm playing Baldur's Gate 3, either with Dawn or by myself or with Peggy, who is also playing it, and it's been amazing. So really, really fun. Love the game. Okay, I'm going to flip over so that we can talk about makeup stuff, random stuff, books and decks. So, like I said, long. Let me flip over. So welcome to my table. Let's talk about some of the beauty things, the makeup and beauty things I have been loving. I have not worn a lot of makeup. So many of you know, Peggy and I got COVID in January, so I was sick through a lot of January, which was not the most favorite awesome time ever. But I wasn't really doing a whole lot of makeup. I did it today for this video for the first time in like literally the whole 2 months. I think I quickly put some foundation in. Oh, actually I did do my makeup for Glitter and Gators with Danny. So I did do my makeup for that. This is the second time I've worn makeup. Clearly my memory is crap. But I did make time to work with my nails. So that's what I'm going to talk about. So I mentioned the salon life on YouTube. As I said, I'll have her channel linked down below. Some of these are things that I already had. Well, one of them is things I already have, and it is cuticle oil. So I've shouted this out before. I love this bottle because you get so much for the money, and I've loaded this cuticle oil. This is the Cuccio brand cuticle oil. You can get this on Amazon. It's the milk and honey scent. I love this. It's a giant, like you can see, it's a big bottle. So you get quite a bit. One of the tips that I came away from Salon Life's video on is to literally put cuticle oil on after every time you wash your hands. So I have some of this loaded into, as I said, little clicker pens, and I keep one at work. I have one in like right by the computer in the living room where I do a lot of my work. I have one in my I have this in my bathroom, and I have one by my bed. So I always put cuticle oil on every time I get my hands wet for any reason. Like if I have a shower, if I wash my hands, anything. This has probably been the thing that's made the biggest difference in my cuticles. Like they're not dry anymore. And this has been the thing. And the other thing she taught me is that you don't have to slather this on. I didn't know this, but when you're putting on cuticle oil, you really only need like a single drop. I usually put it on my thumb like that for your entire hand. And I just work it into all 5 of my little nail beds here and then around the fingertips. And it soaks in so quick because you're not over applying it. And I always thought you had to have a drop like per finger. You don't. You just need a little amount. And that's what I've been doing. So 1 drop for each hand, unless I've just painted my nails, because then I've really stripped them. And then after my nails are dry, I put 1 drop per finger and I do a much more intense. But that's it. It's like so easy. And like I'm going to be touching decks and books in a minute, and my skin will have absorbed the oil. Like I don't have to worry about it being greasy. So I've been doing this after every time I wash my hands. This definitely has made a huge difference in my like skin health around my nails. It's been huge. And the other thing, and make sure that's closed tightly, this was also a recommendation from Salon Life, is this Eucerin Complete Repair Hand Cream. This is got 5% urea. And urea is an ingredient that helps, I think, restore your moisture barrier, your skin barrier. I don't use very much. I use like that much. Same thing. I make sure I get it around my fingers first, and then I just work it into my hands. Same thing. And I apply that maybe like at least twice a day, usually in the morning and at night, or in the evening, I should say, not at night. In the morning and the evening, like when I come home from work. I don't keep this at my work, so I only use it when I'm at home. A couple times a day. Weekends, I probably end up using it more because I keep it by my sink. But this has been really great. And then at bedtime, what I've been doing is applying this product, which I also found out about from Salon Life. And this is Carousel. It's actually an intensive foot repair product. The only thing that I hate about this is the packaging. It's that kind of foil tubing. So as soon as you take the lid off, it starts to come out. But I take a tiny amount, maybe like about a pea-sized amount, and also spread it on my cuticles. This stuff I put on only when I'm going to sleep at night, and it does leave a kind of weirdly, It doesn't feel like it absorbs right away. It has like almost like a sticky kind of sensation, which I'm kind of sensitive to, but I have been putting this on at bedtime for the last probably 3 weeks now, maybe less. Again, huge difference. So those are the 3 things I've changed in my nail care routine, other than I deal with my actual cuticles different. So the skin here at the end, I used to think this was my cuticle. Like I used to think this was my cuticle, this little edge where it got white and dry. It's not. I learned that. So now I just gently push that part of my skin back. The cuticle is just the dry stuff that sticks to the base of your nail here, and I didn't realize that. So I had been mistreating my cuticles. So I stopped mistreating my cuticles. I was filing them and stuff. Or not my cuticles. I stopped mistreating the skin at the base of my nail. And ever since I started treating everything properly, I found that my nail polish lasts way longer. I don't know what that's about. I think it's because my nails are they're more supple, so they're stronger. My nails are stronger. The word I'm thinking of isn't stronger. It's like they're more resilient. Like when I knock them into things, they don't just immediately break and rip off. I did break this one because I was trying to open a split ring for my keys at the dealership to give the dealer my car key. So that was my fault. But otherwise, my nails have been not breaking, not peeling, not splitting. It's been amazing. And I think that the key thing for me was moisture. So a lot of nail talk here. Feel free to skip ahead. But that's been transformative because look, my nails look great. And I don't have any of like drying, peeling skin around the sides too. So that has been amazing and really good for me because I am the type of person that kind of picks at the skin around here when it's dry. So having it be really moisturized really has made a difference for me. And my hands look so much better. So very excited about that. I did buy some new nail polish. There was a collection that came out by my favorite nail polish brand, Mooncat. I've talked about them before. I did put moisturizer on, so these bottles are going to have a little bit of a greasy look. Sorry. It is what it is. But I got 3 colors from their Persephone-inspired collection, and these are the 2 I have been obsessed with and wearing for the last month since these came in. I'm on my second time wearing this one. This one is called Petals for a Narcissist. And it doesn't show up on camera, but hopefully you can see the shift in my nails. It's hard to describe this. I'm actually wearing 3 coats of this right now, but it has got a pink, there you can kind of see it. It's got a pink shift. It's like a light gray with that kind of violety pink. There, I'm getting it to show up. It is, there we go. It is gorgeous. And it's been wearing really well. It does not chip on me at all. I put this nail polish on Friday. Today is, okay, it's Saturday afternoon. I guess it hasn't been that long. Last time it looked perfect. I had to take it off. So that's the other thing I've been doing with my nails. I put my nail polish on a Friday. I take it off Thursday morning. So I give myself Thursday all day with no nail polish and Thursday night overnight with no nail polish. And I give myself extra nail oil and stuff between. That's the other thing I've been doing. But anyways, I had to take this off. There was not a single chip. It had lasted the entire week without any issues. I don't know that that's the nail polish so much as it is my change in my nail care routine, but regardless, love this polish. This is my second time wearing Petals for a Narcissist. And then this one is called Love Bomb. I don't know if I got myself in with any videos wearing this, but this has also got some cool shifty properties. So it's kind of like a raspberry. It's kind of showing up more grapey, but it's got, if you catch it at the corner of the bottle, it's got this kind of like orangey gold, kind of grayish. It's really hard to describe. This color is very difficult to show accurately on camera, but it's really pretty. Of the 2, this one's my favorite. Now I also got another one. I forget the name of it. Queen of the Dead, maybe? Or Queen of the Damned? I forget. Something like that. I haven't worn it yet because it is a thermal polish, and I want my nails to be a little bit longer before I wear that one. But thermal polishes are heat reactive, so it gives you kind of a natural French manicure look, so it works better if you've got some nail past your nail bed. Anyways, I'm talking a lot about nails. I'm so sorry. But I haven't done one of these for a while, so I'm insufferable. You're stuck with me. And now for some random things. So this is the grab bag section of this video. First off, I got some Astarion goodies. So this is connected to my Baldur's Gate playthrough. Astarion is one of the characters. So I got this little doohickey for my keychain. I guess it's a keychain. How cute is he? Look it. It's like an acrylic. And then this has got like the little rogue's dagger, the bloodless symbol, some little blood droplets, and the little happy symbol, which if you play this game, you probably know what all of these mean. If you don't, you're like, whatever. But isn't he cute? His little red eyes and his little fang. He's so cute. Anyway, so I got that. That's on my keys. I got another one because I'm obsessed. This one's actually on my bag, so I had to bring my bag over because I don't want to unclip it. But this is this one. It's on this like little back clip, and it's Astarion, again, stylized, and he's holding up a little bloodless card, and he has little blood drippies on his mouth. It's so cute. So anyways, this hangs from my bag that comes with me to and from work. Those were fun little goodies that came in. I also got a set of dice. So in Dawn Michelle's monthly channel, in her membership, her channel membership, there's also a coin in here. We're going to ignore that. But in Dawn Michelle's membership, she has a thing. It's like a monthly activity thing. It's kind of got a bit of a gameplay vibe going. We do roll dice occasionally, and I wanted special dice for it. So it's a really, really fun, immersive tarot practice thing where you're sort of like going through a story and like kind of making decisions and stuff. It's really cool. So I ordered this set of unicorn magic dice because I'm me. And look how pretty they are, though. They're so sparkly. This light doesn't do them justice, but well, I guess it does. They're so pretty and sparkly. So really enjoy playing with my dice. I added a coin in, so now it kind of doesn't fit. But the jar is also kind of satisfying. So unicorn magic dice, big fan. I got these on Etsy. I will link them down below for you, as well as the Astarion stuff if I can find it. Another thing that I did, I think this was like, it might have been December or it might have been early January, is I updated my Kindle. So I got the new Kindle Paperwhite. I had the old Kindle Paperwhite, but the new one has a bigger screen, and I sort of tricked it out. So I took my image, this is the star card from the Unicorn's Journey Tarot, Forgive the Ring. But I put the star card, I went to a decal place that I've used before, and I uploaded the artwork, and I printed a decal so that I can carry the star card around for my Kindle. So the decal goes on the back. I added this MagSafe thingy-mabobber so that I could have a magnetic pop socket for the back, which is really great because then I can take it off, first of all, if I need to make it thinner. But I can also slide it on in different spots if I want to hold it more towards the left or the right, or up or down a little bit, which I really like. It does sometimes confuse the Kindle and make the Kindle think I'm trying to wake it up or put it to sleep. But I also got the matching decal that goes on the front of the Kindle. So that is actually the same image, just the border of it showing up there. So there's one of the books I read. We'll talk about that in a bit. But I really love the Kindle. The main reason I wanted to upgrade to the Kindle Paperwhite, the newest one, is that you now for the backlight have a warm light option. I had previously only been using the cool white light because that's the only color you had for the previous Kindle. I like the warm light because it doesn't keep me awake. Now, the downside to having this Kindle be so comfortable to use with the pop socket is that typically what we'll do is I'll read in bed. And when I start to get sleepy, I will drop my book on my face. It's not comfortable. Listen, it's not comfortable. But then if I still want to keep reading, I will just pick the book up and continue to read. I would say a downside. It's not nice, but with the pop socket, I'm really comfortable. And when I fall asleep, the Kindle doesn't fall on my face because it's kind of hooked around my fingers. So I don't drop the book on my face. And the downside to that is I keep falling asleep while reading, and then I find the Kindle somewhere in bed with me later. So I'm not getting as much reading done because I'm actually falling asleep quicker, which I suppose is good because then I'm getting sleep. But anyways, I had to shout this out. I get these decals, by the way, from Decal Girl. I've been using that website for a long time. Always been really happy with the quality of the decals. Every single Kindle I've ever owned has had a Decal Girl decal on it. How many times can I say that in the sentence? Decal. Kindle, definitely a favorite. Another cool tech thing, and this just came in, is I got my Freewrite Alpha in. Now, I backed this on Indiegogo a very long time ago, and it's finally here. If you don't know what the Kindle, if you don't know what the Freewrite is, the Freewrite is a device that is meant for distraction-free writing. So the idea is, so I've opened up a new thing. So the idea is that it's like a word processor, you type. The reason I wanted this, I had another device that does this. In fact, I still have the other device that does this. But the other device that I had, I think I've got it on the small text size right now. The other device that I had, it doesn't connect to Wi-Fi, and getting the text off of the device and onto my computer was a pain in the butt. But when I'm doing freeform writing and I want to just go without overthinking what I'm writing, without getting stuck, devices like this are really, really handy. I always use some kind of distraction-free writing something, whether it's an app I open up, whether it is a device like this, but when I'm doing long form writing, it makes such a difference. You get to see how much I type. So this thing is just meant to make writing a little easier. It connects to Wi-Fi. It's always backing up your work. And if I want to get whatever I just wrote, I just hit send and it sends me an email with whatever I just wrote. So it's very, very, very easy to use. It's lightweight and I can write on it. It's rechargeable and the battery lasts forever. So that's really handy. And I've only just started getting kind of used to it and getting to know it. But this is really great whenever I'm working on writing projects to just get words down. So love this. I haven't played with it a ton yet, but very, very excited that it's in. This was the Indiegogo color, the white one. I think they're mostly going to be selling the black one going forward, but I got a really good deal on this doing it through Indiegogo and I'm happy with it. So yeah, that came in. Also in the random section, look at the Happy Mail that arrived. So if you haven't seen the pictures, oh my gosh, go look. I was so completely over the moon. These came from a subscriber of the channel and they were hand crocheted. They are adorable. This is a floppy witch hat. I am in love. It's so cute. These little ties come off, but I'm keeping them on there for now so I don't lose them because I'd really hate that. But this is a floppy little witch hat. You will definitely see me wearing this at some point. It is so stinking cute. And she also made a dragony hat for Peggy. Oh my God. When I tell you, like if you see our Sunday shenanigans, I used us wearing this as look at it. Look at how cute. It's got like this little dragon scale pattern. So very, very us. Love, love, love these. These totally made my day when they came in, and Peggy's too. We like ripped them out of the package and immediately put them on and took pictures, and the yarn is just the perfect color. I love it. Look at it, it matches my reading table. Look how well it matches. Yeah, she clearly knew my colors for sure, and having a matching hat kind of with Peggy with the same yarn makes me real happy. So love these. I got another piece of Happy Mail, and I'm not going to show a lot about this, but this just came on it had been a tough time. We'd been going through some stuff. This arrived, and it was just really, really super sweet, and what I want to show, it was just a sweet card, but inside, look at these little goodies. I just wanted to show them. There's a little "You Are Loved" card, and it says, "Always remember, you are loved." This one says, "You're a superstar." This one says, "She has fire in her soul and grace in her heart." Little iced coffee. Like just a bunch of really cute. Look at the dragon for Peggy. Kitty cat. I mean, this kind of stuff, like getting Happy Mail like this, it is so sweet for anybody to take their time out and do that. Look at this. I love coffee. Another dragon. Look at that one with the tea and the candy. Oh my God. This is kind of giving me Chicoli vibes. There's so many cute little kitties in here. Oh my gosh. This little "Everything Will Be Okay." Flowers. Look at this one. Oops, that one. This little witch kitty. And this one. Anyways, and there's a really, really sweet note, and it really meant a lot. That kind of stuff. I never expect that kind of thing to come in the mail, and then when it does, it's just like, oh my God, somebody took the time, and I appreciate it so, so much, y'all. And I have to tell you, I am the worst. I can't be pen pals with anybody. I am not a snail mail person myself. So when somebody does this, you have no idea how much it means, because for me, that feels like a monumental effort just to do that kind of thing, and I appreciate it so, 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 so much. So that was really sweet. The other thing I wanted to talk about just briefly in the random section, and there's not a lot of context here, but most of you probably don't know because I haven't talked about it much, but I've grown up with music. I played the flute in high school, and when I was in my 20s and I was in sort of as a baby witch or whatever, I got sort of pulled into the Celtic music world, and I ended up kind of joining a little group of us who played Celtic music, mostly Irish music. And I learned how to play the penny whistle. And Peggy and I were pulling out our Christmas stuff or putting it away or something, and I stumbled on my storage box that had my whistles, pulled them back out, and I just spent a whole afternoon playing one day at the end of December or early January. And I'm going to keep them out and just still go back to them now and then, but I thought I'd show them in case you've never seen my whistles. I don't know, I haven't talked about it much. I have a whole notebook full of music, and I recently picked up just a book that focuses exclusively on Scottish music, which I'm really excited about. But these are my main whistles that I used to play when I used to do Irish session music. And what's really great about these, or great about whistles, is that they're not a very expensive instrument if you want to get into instruments, but also I love wind instruments. I love flutes. I also have a Native American flute that a dear friend of mine gave me before she passed, and that's what I use when I'm doing like ritual music. Usually, the penny whistle can be a little bit much for ritual, but when I was in that Irish session band, we would literally go to Irish pubs and we would just play. And it's very organic the way Irish session music is. And it was really incredible. So we had a bass player, we had a bodhrán or drum player, we had another whistle, and we had a fiddle at one point. But mostly it was whistle, bass, and drum, if I recall correctly. It's been a long time. Anyways, I remember even having one birthday one time where we went up to Mount Rainier, and, well, no, my birthday was separate. We had a bunch of people come over and we just played music my whole birthday one year. And then a different time, we went up to Mount Rainier and we played in Mount Rainier. And I've got photos of me somewhere playing on Mount Rainier. It's pretty awesome. I love the way that music can connect me with nature. But anyways, just in case you were curious, these are what penny whistles look like. So this is my standard C whistle, I think that's on here. Or is this my D? No, this is my D whistle that's on here. And this head comes off, and then I can move it over here, and that is a D whistle. So it's a little bit lower. Or excuse me, C whistle that's a little bit lower. And these are technically tunable because the head slides. But typically when you get a penny whistle, it looks a little bit more like this. Now this is not your basic penny whistle, but this is what a basic penny whistle looks like typically. Or tin whistle is another name for them. This is actually a shush or a hush whistle. It's quieter, that's the point. So if I want to just tootle around and just practice some of my tunes, this is a really, really good one, because this one, the Susato brand whistles, can actually be very, very loud. But it's really fun for me to just literally sit in here and just play. I have some old reels and jigs I used to play, and I just, some of them, as I start to play, my muscle memory comes back and I can just play them quickly, and that's really fun. But this is the one that's less likely to bother my neighbors. So it's been muted. It's got this piece up here that makes it quieter. But this is a brass, and this is a, I think it's PVC whistle, which surprisingly, I think this was more expensive, at least at the time that I got it. Actually, my most expensive whistle is the one I'm going to show you next. Oh, I also have in here another, this is I want to say it's like an E flat. Yeah, this is my E flat whistle body that goes with this one. So these all live in this case. See, show and tell is such a self-indulgent thing. I just show you guys things that I like and care about. This is probably my favorite whistle to play, but it is harder to play and I'm out of practice. But this is my low D whistle, and it is huge by comparison. Let me just pull the headpiece out. There we go. So this one, also tunable. This one's quite big. And the challenge with this one, if you can see the finger holes, let me just show you. Look at how big that finger hole is. It's actually difficult to get a good seal because the finger that's supposed to seal that, this is hard. So there's a spread here. This finger goes way down. And then this is the finger that typically would cover that hole. And usually you would do a piper's grip, so you'd actually cover it like that. But this whistle has such a beautiful sound. And I actually played My Heart Will Go On, yes, the Celine Dion song, at a friend's funeral. Gosh, that would have been in the early 2000s. So it's very memorable for me. It's got a very low haunting tone, but it's really beautiful. And you can play any tin whistle song on a low D whistle, but you cannot get them. When I got this whistle, it wasn't cheap, but nowadays they're like double to triple the price they were when I first got into whistles. So I love this one. I treasure this one. Nowadays, if you get a whistle of this size, typically they have you can get one from this same brand now. It has like a button you can push to cover this hole because it's so hard to do. But this is what I learned on. So yeah, very exciting. Love my whistles. And it was just kind of a cool blast from the past to bring them back out and play again. It just had been a long time. So that was kind of a neat thing for me to revisit in, oops, I got to put this on the other side, in like, again, early January or so when I pulled these out. So love these. Love these. Love that they're still in my life. Yeah, happy things. That brings us to books. And the only book I read start to finish since the last time I did one of these, I think, is The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. This was our Unicorn Fan Book Club pick. We read this over January, February, and just had our book club live the past weekend. When you're seeing this, it was the weekend prior. This was a really cute, cozy book about found family, and it is definitely one that I recommend. It was a little bit of a slow start for me, and there is a romance, but it's a very slow burn, very, very barely touched on romance, if I'm being honest. The story is mostly about that sense of found family. If you enjoyed The House on the Cerulean Sea, you'll really enjoy this. This is very much like a witchy version of that. So if you enjoy that kind of story, this is probably going to be right up your alley. And there's a whole lot of different characters from all walks of life here, but there is a very, very old, like a much older, like grandparent aged, like old grandparent aged male gay couple in this that is just the sweetest. So if that kind of thing just makes your heart go all warm and fuzzy, you'll probably really enjoy this read. And then of course there's some magic, and it's a really lovely little magic system, and I just really enjoyed it. It was really cute. I have like I keep comparing every cozy fantasy book I've been reading to Legends and Lattes, and frankly none of them can quite meet that place and what it did for me, but this was a really enjoyable read and I do recommend it. I am currently reading but not finished with Howl's Moving Castle. So yeah, I will keep you posted about that. I'm about 40% of the way done with that, but I paused that to read The Very Secret Society. So I think Howl's Moving Castle is now my only fiction read that I've got on the go. So I'll keep you posted about that. But there are a few other books I want to show, and these are just mostly, again, show and tell. But as I was getting my deck ready for Kickstarter, I really wanted to repurchase some of the most impactful books that I had when I was a kid, books that impacted Mystic Story and that I've talked about impacting Mystic Story. So I bought myself really nice versions of all of those. So let me show you those really quick. The first one is The Velveteen Rabbit. This may seem like an odd one, but this was such an impactful story for me growing up. This is a story by, I always forget the author's name, I'm so sorry. Marjorie Williams, and the illustrations are by William Nicholson, and I did want the original illustrations, so those are the original ones that, or the ones that I'm familiar with from the story I read as a kid. This is all about how toys become real. If you don't know the story, The Velveteen Rabbit, this is such a beautiful children's story. And again, I love these original illustrations. This was just an impactful story to me about, again, kind of that idea of found family in a way. It was maybe my first encounter with that concept growing up, but it meant a lot to me. It's actually, for a kid's book, kind of word heavy, but it is the sweetest story. So I love this. This was definitely a really meaningful book to me growing up. So I got this nice hardback edition of it. This is the one by Doubleday Books for young readers. I will try to link the copies of these books that I got for you down below. I also picked up a nice individual copy of The Ugly Duckling by Hans Christian Andersen. This is an adaptation that was done by Jerry Pinkney, and to the best of my recollection is the version of illustrations that I saw or remember from growing up. The Ugly Duckling is very much a story that is, you can find threads of this within the story of Mystic in the Unicorn's Journey Tarot. But The Ugly Duckling, if you don't know the story, is about a little duck that was born, but turns out he wasn't a duck at all, he was a swan. And so this is all about trying to fit in and not fitting in, and then eventually discovering that he's not a duck at all, but a swan. And he finds his people in the end. And it's just a really, really cute story. There was another story, Ping, about Ping the duck, I think. Me and ducks, I guess, growing up. But I loved this story. And is it Ming or Ping? If you know, drop it in the comments down below. But anyways, I wanted to get a really nice version of this book as well, hardback. And this is the edition published by, gosh, where does it say? This one is published by Morrow Junior Books. Yeah, so, well, see, this says this particular version is copyright 1999, so it can't be this version that I had as a kid, but I love the illustrations of this one. So this is the one that stuck, The Ugly Duckling. So I picked that up. And then I also picked up, I actually got 3 of these, but this was the first unicorn book I ever had as a kid. Now, back then it was a little golden book. It didn't look like this. This is a special edition. And I actually picked up 3 from the Serendipity book series, Morgan and Me, Creole and Leo the Lop. Now you can get these from Stephen Cosgrove's website. And I actually ended up talking to Stephen on the phone because these were supposed to come signed and mine did not. And so he phoned me, and I think it was like on, it wasn't Christmas Day, but it was like Christmas Eve maybe. It was like a holiday. He called me and he was like, I'm so sorry. And he said he was going to send me some signed book plates. I haven't gotten them yet. I reached out to him, but I mean, honestly, it is what it is. But these were very much childhood staples for me, all three of these. These are the two I remember the most, these two. And this came in a set of 3, I believe. But let me show you Morgan and Me, because this was, again, my first book I ever encountered about a unicorn, or that I remember, I should say. And it's really cute. Again, I loved the illustrations. I loved the illustrations. Oh, so Princess is who this little girl is, and Morgan is the unicorn. So this is all about, this is actually a story about procrastination. That's kind of, it's back when, you know, I don't know if they still do this, but little golden books used to have morals. And the moral of this was about waiting and always putting things off. And so this little princess has to learn some lessons about that, and it's really cute. But that is Morgan the Unicorn. And there is other stories that came after this, but this is the one I remember dreaming about for ages and ages. And the way that Morgan looks, the way Morgan is illustrated in this book definitely impacted some of the way that I would imagine unicorns growing up. So really made a difference. Now, I, of course, have several different versions of The Last Unicorn by Peter S. Beagle. So I'm not going to show those. I've shown those before in an entire dedicated video, but these came in and they were all sort of me sort of celebrating the Unicorn's Journey Tarot coming to a conclusion and wanting to get the books that I felt reminded me of that. So that's why I picked these up. I think that's it for books, I think. Let's talk about some decks I've been playing with. These are in no particular order, but let me just share what I've been using. So of course, I've been using my test print of the Unicorn's Journey Tarot a lot. I have 2 test prints of this deck, actually. I have one test print that lives in my work bag. And then I have this test print, which was to test my new banners, which the banners have a little suit symbol on them. And I really wanted to see what those look like in real life. I also had updated some of the images, made sure I was happy with how the colors printed, you know, all that kind of thing. Because when I send it to a printer overseas, I'm going to have a lot less, you know, it's going to be farther away, harder to do. So I wanted to play around. So I use this deck every month when I do my magical Unicorn and Up member reading stream, but it's by request. So I have this available. It's not like I do every single reading with it, but I have been reading with this deck an awful lot over the past several months, and it has just really deepened my relationship with this deck and made me very confident about it as a system, as a story that works to tell the story of the tarot. As, you know, I know this deck and I know that it works well. There may be a couple of spoilers in here because there's a couple cards I hadn't yet revealed, but so far I don't think I managed to show them, so I think we're okay. Anyway, this is a test print on similar but not an identical version of the cardstock that I'm going to be using, because this is a Make Playing Cards version, and the version I will be getting will be slightly higher quality than this. But I definitely wanted to make sure I was going to be happy with the shuffle, but it's going to be a very shuffleable linen finish. Oh, I cannot wait. Just keep your eyes out for the Kickstarter. One of the stretch goals, just since we're here and we're talking about it, this is what the backings look like, but one of the stretch goals is going to be to add silver holographic details to the back. And if we manage to reach that stretch goal, I'm going to make sure that this star is silver rainbow holographic, and some of these little dotted stars around are also silver rainbow holographic. So I really want that because I think it would really make this star magical on the back. And then matte colored edges that would probably coordinate here with the backs. That is what we would be, doing. So very, very, very excited about those stretch goals. But anyways, I'm going to try not to yammer on about the Kickstarter. This is just a tin I had printed at Make Playing Cards to match, so I had something to keep my deck in because I don't have any box design done yet. But I hate these tins. I love smaller tarot deck into tins, but these standard ones make the deck feel like a brick. It's fine for keeping it home for like on my shelf, but like I would never chuck this in a bag. Like it just, there's something about it that made the deck feel so weighty and big and chunky. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't know why. It's smaller than a deck box, but I love mini tins. I'm not a fan of this big game tin, but you can get these from Make Playing Cards if you want to have a tin custom printed with artwork. You just upload the artwork and then they'll custom print the tin lid to match, but it's fine. I cannot wait to actually have a proper deck box though. All right, so in addition to my own deck, which is always a favorite, I got in the Seasons of the Witch in bulk oracle. Now I actually got this a little bit past, I think it had just came in like a day or two after the Sabbath for me. So have been working with it since in bulk rather than like leading up to in bulk. I don't know if other people got it sooner. I think this is probably my favorite Seasons of the Witch deck so far. I don't know if it's the season, the themes. It's so cozy. It's so cozy. I don't know how else to describe it. This really does feel like the season between Yule and the spring equinox. It really feels like that. And I loved the messages on the cards. The themes just really seemed to hit right spot on. I did use this deck during member readings and I really enjoyed it. It read very intuitively, but the guidebook entries were really beautiful. I really loved this one. It just hit different than the other ones in a really beautiful way. But I can't wait to complete the entire set of 8 decks. I think we have 2 more left, or is it 3 more? I think we have 3 more left. 2 are currently available for pre-order. So I'm really excited to have all these. And once they're all in, I think I'll be putting them all like on a bookshelf, like in their boxes, all neatly lined up, because the packaging has been so beautiful for all of them, and it all matches and it's all the same size and very satisfying. Anyways, I love this series of decks. I think it was really clever to do a Sabbath themed series of decks. Really, really clever. And I think that Lorianne Anderson and Juliet Diaz have done a beautiful job the entire way through. The artist has changed on the more recent decks, and I feel like it still cohesively feels like it's part of the same series. And I don't plan to mix the decks anyways, so the slight variations aren't a big deal. If you were put off by the Seasons of the Witch Samhain Oracle, and I think the Yule one too, because they had more abstract kind of wording on the cards, the newer decks, the more recent ones, are not like that. They're a little bit more clear what it is that they're telling you. So just so you know. Another deck that I have been working with a fair amount is the Tarot of a Hidden Realm. I had this a long time ago and I raved and raved and raved about this guidebook. It's really beautiful. It's written in a narrative style. It's by Barbara Moore, so you know the writing is top notch. And it's just a really, really good guidebook for this deck. But I had let the deck go because I had modified mine poorly and it just put me off working with the deck, which now I'm a lot slower to edge decks or to trim them, because I found that sometimes it deepens my relationship with the deck, but sometimes if it doesn't come out the way I envision, it can actually interfere with my relationship with the deck. So the new one I have not edged or modified at all, and this is actually our deck study. So in my channel membership, we study a deck over 2 months, and we are studying the Tarot of the Hidden Realm over February and March. So this is the deck we're currently studying. So I also pulled this out for my member reading stream in February, and it was really lovely to read with. It read way better than I remembered, and even without referring to the guidebook, I felt like I got exactly what I needed from these images and these cards. Julia Jeffrey's artwork is absolutely stunning, and it's so evocative. These characters are so full of feeling. It's a very emotive deck, actually, and if you're looking for a deck that really gets you into the feeling of things, I feel like the Tarot of the Hidden Realm definitely does do that, and I'm really happy to have it back in my collection and to be studying it. I will keep you posted. I'm going to be working with it again all through March, so it's staying in my rotation for sure. Other things. This is 2 months worth of stuff. So these are Peggy's 2 pocket wraps, by the way. This one's a little floppy because it was like a test one that she did initially. I use these all the time, but these are some decks that I worked with. Gosh, where is... Oh, wait. Oh. The Tarot of the Witch's Garden was actually our deck study for December, January, and I loved spending some quality time with this deck. I freaking love this deck. It's super beautiful. It's on a linen cardstock. It's not a really nice cord cardstock, but it does shuffle beautifully because of the linen finish. It's the first Llewellyn deck that ever had a linen finish to my knowledge. And I really, really love this deck. I find it very easy to read with. I find that the imagery stays close enough to the Rider-Waite-Smith to be very comfortable and easy, but it has this just beautiful theme throughout it. And the artwork is just gorgeous. It's very earthy. It very much feels like a garden deck. It makes me really happy to work with. I've used this a ton even before our deck study, and our deck study just gave me an excuse to work with it a lot more, and that was really amazing. And Peggy made us these matching bags. Look how perfect that is for this deck. So I really, really, really enjoyed this. I read the guidebook cover to cover and then some. There's so much good stuff in this guidebook, including like little invocations for every card. The astrology is noted on every card, and there's some spell work and things in the back that are related to the cards and have spreads that you can use with the spells and all kinds of good stuff in here. Very well done by Sasha Graham, and Natasha's artwork is just gorgeous in this. So really enjoyed this deck study in December, January. And of course, working with this. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Did I finish my sentence? This is one of Peggy's 2-pocket wraps, which was actually originally sized for Llewellyn sets. So it's got like 2 pockets. So I usually put the book here and then the deck here. Or, as you'll see in my next few decks, I also use it just to hold a bunch of decks. But it's got a nice built-in like spread cloth, right? And you can do it this way, or you can flip it over and use the back to put behind your cards if you're taking pictures, or if you just want something nice to lay your cards on. Anyways, I love this. This one's just floppy because it's one of the first ones she ever made for me. And so it had a different kind of innard guts. It has different guts than some of the other ones. Plus it's very well worn in. Love these. I always have Peggy's shop linked below, by the way, if you're ever curious. I think she does have a few 2-pocket wraps in her shop right now, actually. Anyways, other decks. Oh my gosh, there's so much. Okay, so here's another 2-pocket wrap that I've got stuffed full, and this. Okay, so I have been working with, a lot of this is connected now to Dawn Michelle's fellowship thing, the guided tarot practice that she does in her membership. But I have been using the Citadel, which has been so perfect for the sort of gameplay feel of the fellowship work. So I used this a ton, especially in January. I used it a lot. It was really, really great for the first month of that guided practice. Really enjoy the Citadel. Use it a lot. It's a wonderful oracle regardless, but I love it. That is the special edition. I can't remember if there's a difference between that and the mass market. And then in this 2-pocket wrap, I have other things I've been using with fellowship in the last month. So this is my Oak, Ash, and Thorn mini. I love the Oak, Ash, and Thorn so much. And this mini has been so enjoyable to use during the prompts for February. I think I just said February. But for the month of February. Wait, is that how you just say it? I don't know. It sounds weird now when I say it. I love the Oak, Ash, and Thorn. Is this like a pocket? This is a little bit bigger than like an actual mini. It's probably about Trump size. And I love it. I love it. This is great for like a Celtic cross spread or bigger spreads in general. But I've been using the Oak, Ash, and Thorn. And along with that, for our February practice, it kind of worked with the themes of what we were doing in the story. But I used this, and then I also used this, which is the Tree Whisper Oracle, and this has been so perfect also in February. This is such a special deck. It's got really powerful keywords, but the images really pull you in, especially if you look at them from a distance. I don't know what it is, but when I pull back from the image and really take it in its like fullness, I really get some really good stuff from this deck. Love it. So that is the Tree Whisper Oracle by Max Black. This pre-order is open for the Tree Whisper. This is the Secret Garden edition. For the different editions, they open up, I think, once or twice a year. So keep your eyes out or join the email list or whatever to be notified. I'll try to link a website or something down below. And then this I'm using all year long as part of my work with Dawn Michelle's guided practice, and this is the deck of emblems. This comes as the bonus deck when you get the special edition Citadel Oracle. But one of the things we get to do in Dawn Michelle's little game is we get to have loot. And this is the perfect loot deck because everything in here is an object. And each object has meaning. And so you collect loot throughout the journey and keep track of what loot you've gotten. And so this is my loot deck. And it's been absolutely perfect for that. So this is still in use. It's going to be in use throughout the year. And it's been perfect for that. So that lives still in my little kit. And this is the 2-pocket wrap I've been using for all of the fellowship stuff because it's just been a fun pick. So I'm going to tuck those back because I'm still doing some fellowship work that I'm catching up on from February. And lastly, just a quick little update on my envelope readings. Now, if you're in my membership and you're a magical unicorn or up or higher, I have been sharing my, sort of unpacking my envelope readings with everyone in more detail. But let me just show you. I'll show off my January envelopes a little bit, just really briefly. So I ended up doing a second set of envelopes. I did a whole set of envelopes for the full moons. So I named them the full moon, and I'll show you how I did those. But for the regular monthly readings, what I did is I pulled 3 cards from the This is the moon. I forget what this is called. It's out of print now. It is the, oh, I forget what it's called. It's the one by Anaturian, and it's like the light of the moon. Like, that's the colors. But anyways, I do a 3-card Lenormand reading, which for January mine was Mountain, Scythe, and Snake. And then I also pull a card. That's been the perfect Lenormand, by the way. It's been really magical to pull out the reading and like lay it out on the table. Love this deck. It's this one. Those are the backings. Somebody's going to remember, but I'm pretty sure it's out of print now. And then also from the Healing Creative Consciousness Healing cards, one of these. This has been really wonderful to work with. I've now already done my February one, but not only is this an oracle card with a lovely message and advice for you, but it has a really beautiful but simple little guided meditation that you can do for each card that is very healing and nurturing. It feels very self-care focused. I've been pulling a card from the Wisdom of the Kaliak Oracle, and this was also very, very meaningful for me in February. It really hit where it needed to hit. And I have been working with the Nameless One Tarot 1-card pull for the monthly reading, and this has been such a great practice with this deck because I have the giant grimoire and I read the entire section about this card. I feel like I really get to know it, I really understand it, and I really get to sit with it. But I think my favorite thing, and as I said, I kind of unpack these in a lot more detail behind the scenes, but one of the things I've been loving about this practice is that I pull out the cards, I lay them out, and I really, really sit with them for time. It's a very conscious practice. It's instead of like doing a month ahead reading that feels predictive, it sort of feels like a reading that holds my hand throughout the entire month. And that is the experience I've been having in February as well. Now the full moon reading, which I pull out for the full moon, I did these a little bit differently. So I very intentionally chose from this deck. This is the, what's this called? It's called the Witching Hour Oracle. This is a US Games little oracle deck. So these actually have 3 cards, a maiden, mother, crone, or waxing, full, waning for every moon. So I intentionally chose, so instead of shuffling and drawing randomly, I intentionally chose the card that goes with each moon based on, and I had to do some lookups because sometimes the names change, so I had to like compare. But January's full moon is called the Wolf Moon according to this system, and the theme was protection. And then I also pulled cards from the Goddess on Earth Oracle, which is a goddess oracle I really enjoy, and I got duality, which is really lovely, and the guidebook messages in that were beautiful. And then I did go ahead and pull one of the oracle cards from the Nameless One and worked with it much like I work with the tarot card and the regular month spread, and really worked with this energy. These are the tools of the Morai, so the staff and the scissors and the spinning thingy. Listen to me with my technical terms. It all ended up being incredibly relevant and helpful for my month. And I'm just tucking the cards back into their envelopes at the end of the month and just putting them back in the pile in the back so that I can revisit them at the end of the year. But I have not in any way felt ripped off by the fact that these decks are locked up in this practice for the year. In fact, I feel like I'm getting a chance to really work with these decks a little bit every single month in a way that feels really nice, and I feel like lets me use decks that otherwise might be languishing while I work with other things. So it's been really, really lovely. And the way I've been storing these, let me just show you. So I got this very special moon box from a Witch's Moon box a long time ago, and it just happens to be the perfect size for me to just stand my envelopes in like that. I was looking for something like this that just wouldn't take up a ton of space. And then whatever month I'm currently working with, if the cards aren't laid out on my table, like if I'm using it like now, I just set it like that, like sideways. So these are my February envelopes. So I've been working with these readings throughout the month, and I haven't put them away yet, even though it's now March. I'm filming this actually on March 2nd, I think it is. So it will be time for me to pull out my March envelopes soon, but I've been sitting with these and it's been really lovely. So that is how I've been doing that. All right, that's it. Those are all the decks I worked with in the last couple of months, and that's a lot. I'm sure that I've missed some things. There's been other things I've pulled at random here or there, or things I've used for clients, etc. My client readings are currently on pause because I've just got my hands full at the moment, and I really hit a wall in January and need to make sure that I am not taking on too much all at once, but those will come back. I will keep you all posted when they do, or I will try to remember to keep you all posted. As always, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I know these videos are long, but it's really fun to just share with you the things I'm loving, what I'm up to, what I'm getting into, what I've been doing. It's just really a highlight of my month. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. As always, an extra big thank you goes out to my Unicorn Fam channel members. Thank you so much for your support. It makes such a huge difference. You have been the reason I have been able to get so much done this year, and I really, well, and last year. And I genuinely appreciate each and every one of you. To all of you who are watching the channel, thank you so much for sharing your time, for spending it here, for engaging with the channel, commenting, liking, subscribing. All of those things really make a difference, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And until next time, may your magic always shine from the inside out. And don't forget to go check out my Kickstarter. Okay, bye!